NYC Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. I always think of the movie You Don't Mess with the Zohan. Is that what it was called? Hold on. You don't mess with the Zohan. But he's Zohran. He's Zohran. You don't mess with the Zohan. Remember that Adam Sandler movie? I never even seen it. But that name stands out. You Don't Mess with the Zohan is a 2008 American satirical action comedy. Oh, written by Sandler and Robert Smigel. It's a good team there. Oh, Schneider's in it. No thanks. Mariah Carey's in it. I'm back in. John Turturro is the Phantom. Oh my God. Anyways, You Don't Mess with the Zohran. Zohran won. I told you. The dawn of a better tomorrow for humanity is here for us, and we have started to take our country back from the billionaires, the oligarchs, the lamestream media propaganda machine that's teaching you to hate the people that need to be fed and love the people that are putting their boots on your neck. Ho, ho, ho. Listen. I'm going to play some of Zohran's victory speech because I think it's important for everyone to hear. And in fact, I'm excited for my kids to get home from school because they're going to play it in its entirety for them. This is one of those moments. Through the long night that if you watch Game of Thrones, you know how the Great War is coming and they're on the watch, the night watch. And now my watch begins. I felt like that happened in January. And now our watch begun. But even in Westerosi history, even Jon Snow had to take a moment to appreciate his win in the Battle of the Bastards. And I say we have to take a moment to appreciate the people winning back New York City. Is Arsenio Hall still on? Remember that? The dog pound? And they used to go, hoo, 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 hoo. That was on a late night TV show. How do you explain that to a young head? Like someone who grew up with Netflix. How do you explain that? We used to sit down at 11:30 at night and put on a channel with the clicker. And you had to watch commercials. Like there wasn't even TiVo. And we would wait for Arsenio Hall to come on. And then at certain points during the Arsenio Hall show, you knew the dog pound in the back of the studio audience would start going, hoo, 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 hoo. And they would do this motion, hoo, hoo, hoo. It's not the Donald Trump, I'm jacking the giraffes. It's not that. It's a separate motion. And that was like a cultural thing. The 90s was just different. I don't think I can explain it. You had to be there. Anyways, Mamdani has won. Let's take a moment to just appreciate. I'm going to play some of Mamdani. Mamma mia, Mamdani. That's my New York. Did I not pull it up? Did I not pull it up? Did I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. We're going to listen to some of New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani, his victory speech. I'm so happy. This is a ginormous win. He beat the establishment. You want to talk about, MAGA always talks about, we're going to take a country back. From who? Poor people? We've never owned it. But you want to talk about coastal Nepo elites like Donald Trump being the establishment. Donald Trump in the 90s said, if I need a favor from a politician, I just make a donation and boo-doo-doo, I get a favor. I mean, for crying out loud, the guy saying he doesn't even know who he's pardoning, that he's just doing pardons because his sons are into it,
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is.
I don't even know who he is. I'm just pardoning him. He said it was Binance Diddy. I don't know.
I know nothing about it.
I know nothing. Oh, really? President Otto Pen? Jesus. What were we talking about? I'm so excited right now. I'm just so excited. But Donald Trump is the establishment, okay? The billionaires are the establishment. If you don't know that by now, fucking wake up. And this victory for Democratic Socialists, a huge win for socialists. To all my comrades, today is a good day. Okay, Desi Corvus, what's up? Today is a good day for all us socialists out here trying to fight for the people, trying to take this country back from the oligarchy. Okay? It is a good day for us. This is a huge win. He beat the Cuomo twins. I'm assuming they're twins. Joe and Bozo Cuomo. I don't even know their first names. I know one's on like the news and the other one's just the government guy. Like, what did their dad do? You know what? We're going to find this out because I guarantee you, what is Cuomo parents? Not Cuomo Rivers. It's not Cuomo Rivers. Cuomo parents do. What are the... Mario, Matthew, Cuomo, and Matilda. Let's see what they did. They immigrated from Nokia? From Nokia in Italy? What is the background of the Cuomo family? Is a prominent New York political dynasty. Oh, well, there it is. Mario was the governor. Well, and there it is. There it is. Nepotism 101. Have your dad be governor, then be governor. Or whatever, mayor. Fucking, this is unreal that we just allow this shit. You know? No more nepotism. That's going to be another law when us socialists take over, and it's begun. It started in New York City, and then it's going to... If democratic socialism can happen in New York City, it can happen anywhere. Jay-Z, write a song about it. Or are you scared of the taxes? By the way, before we really get into things, remember Dave Portnoy and 50 Cent? They were all crying. If he wins, I'm leaving New York. Get the fuck out then. Leave. Don't let the door hit you. But somebody tweeted something awesome. Need everyone who threatened to leave New York if Mamdani won to start packing their bags and booking their flights immediately. Break those leases and put those apartments back on the market tonight. Solidarity with you, Yo Soy Michael. Yo Soy Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm here live every single weekday to bring you the news. Oh my God. And what did we already learn today, folks? The Cuomos are a New York political dynasty. That shit shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be able to get comfortable in politics, you know? So comfortable that the political seats are just passed down generationally, you know? Ugh. So you don't mess with the Zohran, okay? I tell you that. And we're going to listen to him in a bit, but I got some other news to go over with you. Not really news, but some audio clips that I wanted to play for you because these guys are hilarious. The Trump goons are scared, okay? The Timmy Pools, old Baldy, the peanut M&M's gonna make you gay, Tim Pool. The Joe Rogans, the Patty Bet David Stones, they're terrified. Why? This is what I was asking myself today. Why are these so-called red-blooded Americans so frightened? If they love America, right? Isn't that what all these people, all these capitalists claim? They love America so much. If you love America so much, why wouldn't you want America to have their own American grocery stores run by America? Wouldn't that be awesome? What, do you not love America? You don't want America to have its own grocery store? I'm sick of paying some capitalist bozo who just decides egg is $50 and I gotta buy a Lucy from some dude on the corner. If these capitalists really love America, why would they be terrified of an American grocery store? Oh, it doesn't make sense. It's just like all these maggots, M-A-G-A-T-S, all these maggots going, I'm voting for Donald Trump because I don't want guys in women's bathrooms. And it's like, you're voting for the guy who bragged on a radio show, so he knew he was being recorded. You don't want girls in guys' bathrooms, guys in girls' bathrooms, in locker rooms. So you voted for the guy who bragged about being a guy going into girls' locker rooms and peeking on them because he owned the contestant, the pageant, that he owned the pageant so he could go into these locker rooms. You're voting for the guy who said he did what you didn't want to do to not do that. It's just like them voting for the guy to release the Epstein list when it turns out, oh shit, he was best friends with Epstein. He's all over that list. He's got more pictures of him and Epstein together than I got with my grandmother. My crying out loudness. Oh, Baba. Oh, Baba. Oh, what do we get into? I don't know. I just want everybody, all my socialist comrades, just take a moment, whether you're at work or you're at home, just taking a moment to enjoy that we are taking our country back. It begins now. It begins right now. It's starting in New York. It's going to spread out. And I just want to, I do want to make a quick point. President Reagan, what's up? Rob of the people. I love it. I do want to make a point because everybody, all these maggots, MAGATAS, or ATS, sorry. You know, Mamdani comes in, he says, I want you to have free buses and affordable groceries in MAGA. The funniest part is like MAGA that doesn't live in New York. You know why? Because Patty Bet Davidstone, Tim Pool, they're all grifters, and grifters need capitalism. They need people to suffer. They need to sell the snake oil solution that they only have. Only I know the gay M&M secrets. You know, you got to tune in every day so I can tell you which book is going to make your kids gay tomorrow. You know, they're all about grifting. These capitalist grifters don't live in New York. If you're wondering why they're freaking out about this, it's because they don't want to see this be a success. Because once people understand, like, oh shit, we can have good things too, not just the grifters and the powerful, then it's going to take hold everywhere. This is what I'm saying. We're taking our country back. The dawn of a new day. Remember, Donald Trump came into power. He bred corruption. The Trump goons bred corruption, oppression, heartlessness, all this stuff. Antichrist material, right? If you're into that. And these, oh man, and it's so funny to watch these goons that, Tim Pool lives in like West fucking Arkansas or something, you know, West Kentucky. He lives in South Ohio. You know, he lives somewhere so far in the sticks that he had to build his own skate park to lure the little, anyways, he lives in like West Virginia or something. It's like, why do you give a shit who a New York elected mayor? You know, shut your pie hole, buddy. Shut your bald pie hole. Wouldn't that be funny if he had a hairy butt, but not a hairy head? Oh my God. What a loser. Oh, can't even carry a gun in New York, lame. Okay. Yeah, because guns notoriously make people safer. What a moron. Oh, I love how, like, you know, in this time of people going hungry, that's somebody's thought. Anyways, I'm guessing he's a MAGA supporter because we know what Donald Trump said about the MAGA supporters. What did he say? What did he say?
Smart people don't like me.
Smart people don't like him. Who does that leave left? If smart people don't like him, who does that leave? We'll figure it out later. But I hope Barstool Sports and 50 Cent, I hope they all pack up and leave. But before we get into Mamdani, and I'm going to play some of his speech for you, I just want to remind you, he proposed, I think it was like a 2% tax on millionaires. That's why 50 Cent offered to buy him a first-class ticket out of New York and to pay 1 year's salary to him that the mayor earns. That's what 50 Cent tweeted at him because they're scared to pay tax. They'll pay more, like Zohran said, don't mess with the Zohran. Like Zohran said, they will pay more in like propaganda, like media buys and bot armies to try and like keep their grasp on power. They will spend way more money, just like these corporations. Starbucks will spend way more money on lawyers and union busting than they would if they had just paid what the union was trying to negotiate. They'll pay less in taxes than they would spending on trying to retain power. But Zohran's trying to do a 2% tax. Here in Massachusetts, in case you didn't know, we did a 4% tax on millionaires. No kid has school lunch debt. There's no more school lunch debt. Every kid gets free breakfast and lunch at school. Every school-aged child in Massachusetts. That's from a 4% tax on millionaires. Oh, and there's more. And there's more. Are you following me, camera guy? Slapshot, great. Anyways, and if you want a bachelor's degree, you can get it for free at any community college. And that's just from a 4% tax on millionaires. Imagine 100% tax on billionaires. We could pay for everything. No more homeless people, no more hungry people, no more housing crisis. Hold on, let me let this this cat in. By the way, did you see this? I say all graffiti should be Bible quotes from now on. Take that, Joel Osteen. Suck it. Take that, Joel Osteen. Oh, man. We got a lot to go over, though. We are propping up Argentina while our people lose healthcare and starve. Yeah, Ryan, that's right. These people in the chat are okay with starving children, like it doesn't bother them. You know, some of them, how's the Epstein ballroom going? I don't know. Hey, Michael, good to see you, good to see you, good to see you. Today's a great day, Michael. Zohran Mamdani has won in New York City. We are taking our country back from one oligarch-run city at a time. Donald Trump's hometown, if you don't know, born in Queens, raised as a Nepo silver spoon right up his butt. Yeah, so that coastal elite, we're taking it back from all of them. So if you see them freaking out and panicking, or if you see their millionaire mouthpieces like Tim Pool, Patty Davidstone, Ben Shapiro, all worried about what's happening in New York, don't worry, you don't live there. Don't worry. If the affordable groceries and the free transit and the tax on millionaires bothers you and you don't live there, don't worry, it won't affect you. But for the people of New York City, congrats. I hope I hope egg becomes affordable, and I hope your rent gets stabilized, and I hope you get free busing, and I hope you get free community college and no kids go hungry at school. I hope that 2%, tell Zohran, we are more socialist in Massachusetts, if you want to call it socialism. We are more socialist here in Massachusetts. Zohran's trying to get a 2% tax on millionaires. Here in Massachusetts, we implemented the Fair Share Amendment, which is a 4% tax on incomes over $1 million. We already implemented that, 2022. So for all the fear mongering, I wish, this is how you know the mainstream media is not your friend, because they could have just said, oh, Zohran wants to do half of what Massachusetts did. And look at how great it worked out for Massachusetts. Our millionaire population grew by 35%. None of the wealthy people left. I wish they had, because I'm sick of seeing all these Airbnbs on Cape Cod. None of them left. They all stayed. They're paying the tax. No kid goes hungry at school, and you can get free community college bachelor's degree. How fucking awesome is that? I mean, it's pretty great when you implement these things. And you notice how none of the media highlighted Massachusetts as the beacon city on a hill like we are, to say, well, maybe Zohran's looking to Massachusetts and how they implemented it. No, they fear-mongered with communism talk. Shut your fucking pie hole, man. Good to see you, Michael, and I'm glad you're already working on getting those, oh no, these maggots, M-A-G-A-T-S, dizzy, his brain's broken. Most of their brains are broken. And if your brain's broken, feel free to go to Tim Pool or Tucker Carlson's thing, where they'll electrocute your brain with great shocking culture war talk, like Dr. Seuss recently found manuscript. Will it turn your cats gay? And these people will click right in. They're like, holy shit, can't have a gay cat. Can't have a cat. What would that say about me? These people are losers. By the way, don't tell my children, I changed my dog's name when I got home from work today. What did I change it to? I walked in and she looked like a Skittles McSnorty pig. What did she look like? Scoodles McSnortle Pickles. No, Scoodles McPickles Snorts a lot. It was something, but I changed her name, and I let my dog know that your name has officially been changed, and now I forgot it. I'm pretty pissed. I should have wrote it down. My kids won't let me name nothing. I want to name the cat Fish, the dog Rabbit, and they won't let me do it. I'm just going to have to become a billionaire so I could buy 1 billion pets and name them all. Anyways, do you remember when the president made fun of Joe Biden for using the auto pen, and then they said, hey, you pardoned a guy and it looks like a pay to play, looks like he made your family wealthy and you gave him a pardon, you know, a quid pro quo. And Donald Trump said this.
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is.
I don't even know. Who did I pardon? Bitcoin Diddy?
I know nothing about it.
Oh, I know nothing.
Here's the thing. I know nothing about it. I'm too busy doing the other.
So why don't we have a auto pen as president? If you know nothing about who you're pardoning, why don't we get an auto pen for president? I'd vote for an auto pen over Donald Epstein's best friend, Trump.
Chicken jockey.
Listen, I'm just excited today. I kind of feel like this. Because that's audio of one of the Cuomo twins. Are they Siamese twins? I don't know. I've only seen them on camera above the waist, so I don't know if they're connected at the hip. But the Cuomo dynasty has been defeated. If you're just tuning in, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm Rob. I go live every single weekday. Even when America takes this country back from the oligarchs, we put the robots to work, and we Americans work 3 days a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We have Friday through Monday off. Even when that happens, I'll still be live 5 days a week. So join the family, join the coalition. We are taking it back from here as live audio from the Cuomo twins. Oh no, their political dynasty has collapsed. This is the only place you're going to get that kind of audio. Now I really want to play Zohran Mamdani. Not going to lie, I almost teared up watching this victory speech. This is a good day. Out of all the darkness, corruption, heartlessness, people starving, egg being so expensive, this was so empowering, inspiring to see. And I want to play some of Zohran Mamdani's victory speech. I'm going to speed it up a little. But actually, before we get into that, do you want to hear what Cuomo's daughter, I'm guessing her name's Dotto. Anyways, you want to hear her chanting at the Cuomo rally? It's very cringe. Just be careful. This is Andrew Cuomo. That's his name. What's the other one? Joe Bartholomew Cuomo. I don't know their names. But they're just their dad was Mario Cuomo. He was a governor. Then they became political guys, you know. But here's Cuomo's daughter. I don't know what her name is. Maybe her name's Bartholomew. Here is the Nepo kids. That's good how you just came up with that. Shut your face. I would have not voted for him just based on that. No FOMO, no Cuomo. You could tell that girl has a trust fund. You can smell it, you know? When somebody speaks like that, listen to the affectation. That says, I want to speak to the manager. You don't understand the interest rate on my money market account. White House ballroom goes military industrial complex. Palantir and Lockheed Martin awarded build contracts. Ooh, did you hear this news? You know, the Epstein Memorial Ballroom? It's so weird that Donald Trump and MAGA, especially the maggots, MAGATS, that they're like excited about a ballroom. I'm like, really? I thought the only ballroom you guys liked was on Epstein Island. Boom. Suck it, MAGA. But don't you think that's weird that at the Epstein Memorial Ballroom that Donald Trump is building, where they will have towels and sheets hanging from the chandeliers in memorial of their good friend they lost, Jeff Epstein, his BF Jeff. You think it's weird that Lockheed Martin and Palantir won the contracts to build that ballroom? I'm guessing they're going to put recording devices all over it in honor of Epstein. Good. This will be the centerpiece on every table. This is the statue of MAGA. And they'll have these, you know, they'll have different photos all through the ballroom. But I found this on TikTok. They're doing a song. I don't know if this is going to get tagged. I don't think this song is copywritten, but I want to play a little piece of it for you.
The ballroom. That ain't making sense to me. No, that don't make no sense. They built missiles. Now it's straight. Why'd you whistle? It's something sinister indeed.
Hallelujah.
Why would Palantir want to help build a ballroom? That ain't making sense to me. No, that ain't
Bend the knee, MAGA.
You remember that scene when that man, they're gonna build more surveillance technology.
Hallelujah. Can I get an amen?
Hitler also built a ballroom. Oh, surprise, now it's making sense to me. Oh, there's been stuff in the fan. That's the place that they...
Oh, damn. That is the jam of the winter. Do we have winter jams anymore? We used to have summer jams, you know. What was his name? Chadler Hanks? Tad Hanks? What was the Hanks? Chet. I knew it was some overly white name. Chet Hanks said it was going to be a white boy summer. And then like Nick Fuentes, like, you know, Nick Fuentes thought he was flirting with him. And then Cheddar Hanks. Is that his name? Cheddar? Is that his full name? Cheddar Hanks? But yeah, that was a good song for the ballroom. MAGA, bend the knee. And I wanted to play this clip for you because I kept seeing this float around online. And if you go to the grocery stores like I have, and you pay for groceries like I have, and you go, this is too expensive, I have a retort for you. Next time they ring you up and, you know, it says $200 for 2 bags of groceries, we're going to repeat what the president says here.
We're doing really well.
Can I ask you, Mr. President, on that point, though, when the stock market is doing well, that doesn't affect everybody. Not everybody's invested in the stock market. There have been grocery prices are up.
He's so stupid. Oh, it does. No. When the stock market's up, you know, the people that aren't invested in it, it makes their life better.
People have 401ks. Their 401ks are double what they were.
You should have seen President if old Chicken Supreme Trump. You should have seen what their 401ks were doing after you announced the tariffs and you held up that big poster board somebody made for you.
A year ago.
But for people that don't have 401ks or are not invested in the stock market,
but
they've seen their grocery prices go up. Inflation.
No, you're wrong.
So we're going to take a page out of a liar's book, and when groceries are very expensive and you're checking out, and the cashier, or the other audio clip I have for you, do I have that? I didn't pull that one up. Where Donald Trump says, you have to show an ID to buy groceries. You have to show an ID to buy gas. Why not voting? And it's like, you don't have to show. This is how out of touch this Nepo baby is. This coastal elite is. He doesn't even understand. He hasn't bought gas or groceries in forever, you know? He probably has Eric pump it for him. But when next time your groceries are really expensive, you just say, no, they're not. And they go, that will be $200. You go, no, it won't. And that's the Trump way. You just deny reality.
But
they've seen their grocery prices go up. Inflation.
No, you're wrong. They went up under Biden. Right now, they're going down. Other than beef, which we're working on, which we can solve very quickly.
You just say, no, that'll be $187, sir. No, it won't. How out of touch do you gotta be, man? Where else? We're just gonna play some Mamdani. I want to play this Mamdani for you. Oh, hold on one second. oi, oi, oi. All right. All these maggoteers are giving me life. October's daughter, good to see you. Solidarity with all my comrades. I do not like polio Rogan. What's up with the Epstein pick? Well, we're just not forgetting. We're never going to forget that Donald Trump is best friends with Epstein. That's why he won't release the files. And he's probably, Chief, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, see, there's one. Eleanor. You can tell the troll accounts. You know, the troll accounts usually don't have an avatar. Look like a throwaway account. And they come in and say, I love Donald, who was BF Jeff, Epstein's best friend. That's great. You love and protect PDF files? Okay, interesting. Interesting take. Most of humanity despises you. If he had this paperwork in prison, he probably wouldn't last long, but okay, interesting take. Trump will not release the lease he's on. You're right. It was weird that he promised it, but it just shows you how stupid MAGA is. MAGA is so stupid, they were like, oh, wow. You know, he went on Fox and said he'd release the list. And then he appointed Dan Boingo, what's his name? Dan Vagina, head of the FBI with Cash App Patel. They were like, we're going to release the list. And then he's like, Pam Blondie, you get out there and say a list doesn't exist. And she was like, it's on my desk. It does not exist anymore. And everybody's like, okay, sir. And then Charlie, racist Clan, whatever his last name is, Chuck Clan, was like, I'm just going to trust my friends with the government. The ball's in their hands. Today's a good day, folks. You don't mess with the Zohran. He won mayor of New York City. And when you see the people panicking, just know they're panicking from this position. But what's funnier is most of them don't live in New York, and they're panicking over what? Affordable groceries and free buses? I thought you guys elected Donald Trump to bring egg price down on day one, you know? And then you got this guy saying, like, we're going to have state-run grocery stores. And these people are freaking out. I thought you guys loved America. Why wouldn't it be cool for America to have its own grocery stores? What do you like, overpaying Jeff Bezos for food from Whole Foods? You know Jeff Bezos owns Whole Foods now, right? He has for a while. Amazon owns Whole Foods. No, what? You love paying Jeff Bezos so he could go to fly up to space with Kitty Purdy? Give me a break. If you love America, then you'll love American grocery stores. And if not, then you're a poser and you're a liar. Because you can't say, oh, I love America. America's the best. And then when we're like, we're going to do American government grocery stores, you're like, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, but you love the military and the police department, just not the grocery stores. Okay. It's just like MAGA. They elected a guy who bragged about going into women's locker room during the pageants he hosted, he owned. He bragged about going into women's locker rooms, and they elected him to stop men from going in women's locker rooms. None of it makes sense, but there is the fan base, the cult base known as MAGA. Even Donald Trump said,
Smart people don't like me.
smart people don't like him. So what would that make his cult base? What's not smart? Is there another word for that? Anyways, I'm sure they'll figure it out at some point. It's a good day, man. It's a good day. Got to celebrate the little wins. This is what we were talking about when we said we're going to take our country back. MAGA said it, and then they handed it over to a corrupt coastal elite Nepo baby in Donald, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. That's what the J stands for, I believe. Donald, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, Trump. They handed it to an oligarch. A Nepo baby, someone who's never earned anything. He bankrupted casinos. All his businesses failed. He's only in the position he is because his dad was a conniving rich man, Fred Richman. And this is the first step in many steps where we actually take our country back from the oligarchy. Wow, some of these people are just, I don't know, morons? Would that be an appropriate word for some of you in the chat? Listen, if I was as dumb as some of you, I wouldn't be bragging about it like you are in the chat, but okay. Here's for all of you MAGA that love making fun of Joe Bummer, Joe Bummer, Joe Brandon. Remember when you called him that because you were scared to say the F word? That was adorable. You guys were so cute. Making fun of Joe Biden's auto pen. I think he should open up Joe Biden's auto pen store, and then Hunter Biden should sell used laptops. I think he should open up a used laptop store. But for all those who made fun of the auto pen, before we get to Zohran, Donald Trump pardoned. I think they're calling him the Bitcoin Diddy, Crypto Diddy. I don't know what they're calling him, but I know he like funded Hamas. You know what? Let's just listen to the whole thing. Let's just listen to the whole thing of him pardoning him.
This year, the president has pardoned or shortened the sentences of more than 1,600 people. The latest pardon was for a cryptocurrency tycoon.
I believe he's called Crypto Diddy. I'm not sure. I could have made that up, but I'm pretty sure they call him Bitcoin Diddy.
Who is known as CZ.
Oh, sorry,
The company
CZ.
CZ founded, Binance, helped boost the profile of the Trump family's crypto firm, World Liberty Financial.
Oh, look at those brothers, the Trump twins, Nepo baby royalty.
He pled guilty in 2023 to violating anti-money laundering laws.
Right.
The government at the time said that CZ had caused significant harm to U.S. national security, essentially by allowing terrorist groups like Hamas to move millions of dollars around. Why did you pardon him?
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is.
Oh, that's brilliant. I would say that's worse than the auto pen. You're pardoning people who have those kind of charges, and you're saying, well, I don't know who he is. Maybe you shouldn't pardon people you don't know who they are? Remember, when you hear MAGA bragging about how much they love Trump, this is what they support.
I know he got a 4-month sentence or something like that, and I heard it was a Biden witch hunt.
In 2025, his crypto exchange Binance helped facilitate a $2 billion purchase of World Liberty Financial's stablecoin. And then you pardoned CZ. How do you address the appearance of pay for play?
Well, here's the thing. I know nothing about it because I'm too busy doing the other.
But you
I can
gotta
only
pardon.
tell you that
Too busy doing the other thing. Too busy doing what? The government's shut down. Playing golf, building the Epstein Memorial Ballroom? Or are you too busy at your Great Gatsby themed party? Did you guys see this? A Great Gatsby themed Halloween party. Well, American kids are going hungry. This is what Epstein's best friend is doing. This is what they're doing at Mar-a-Lardo. That's what they're doing. By the way, I wanted to play this audio for you of Mike. Is that his Grindr account Johnson? Where is it? Where did it go? Here it is. Here it is. This is Donald Trump's Agriculture Secretary, Brooke Rollins, and her message.
I mean, because reality is setting in for a lot of people this weekend. So what do you say to the millions of people who stand or lose their peace?
The question being asked is, what do you say to the millions of people, to her, darling Trumps, that's MAGA, that's how MAGA addresses him, our darling Donald. This is, what's her name? Brooke Rollins. I'm guessing no relation to Henry. This is Trump's agriculture secretary. She takes the notes and the phone calls at the agriculture department. They're asking, what are you going to say to all the people who are on Snap?
What should they do?
My message to America is first, the fact that your government is failing you.
Do you need to hear it again? This lady, Donald Trump's appointee, the one in charge of Snap, gets on and says, I mean, it can't be any more crystal clear. She says, my message to America is, your government's failing you. Do you know who's in charge of the government right now? Any guesses? Any guesses who controls the government right now? Let's listen to that message again. And by the way, it's Donald Trump and the Republicans. So let's see what Donald Trump's appointee, Brooke Rollins, no relation to Henry, says about the government shutdown.
My message to America is first the fact that your government is failing you right now. That poverty is not red or blue. It is not a Republican or Democrat issue. Doesn't matter who you voted for or even if you voted. That if you are in a position where you can't feed your family and you're relying on that $187 a month for an average family in the SNAP program, that we have failed you.
I don't know, MAGA. It's pretty crystal clear right there. Don't worry. Mike, I don't know if that's really him on Grindr Johnson or not. He's going to step in and say something, but if you're not listening, she's saying the government has failed you. Feeding people isn't red or blue. MAGA has somehow, MAGA Mike, has somehow made it somebody's fault, where really it's, I'd say the fault of a nation. I would say it's the character and integrity of a nation if it lets its people go hungry. But this lady, pretty brazen. A Trump appointee. You don't hear him say this too often.
$187 a month for an average family in the SNAP program, that we have failed you.
We have failed
And
you.
it's clarified. When she says we have failed you, she means we, the Democrats, okay?
Thank you, MAGA Mike. Just so everybody who watches Fox News can know. Wait, you're saying Donald Trump failed us? And Mike gets right in there and says he takes a break from whatever app he is on. And he gets right in there and he says, by we, she means the Democrats. We were talking about the Democratic we. Oh, thank you, Mike. Very interesting take, though, to hear the Brooke Rollins, no relation to Henry. I don't think. You could prove me wrong. I didn't look up. I don't give a shit. Trump's agriculture secretary, Brooke, says,
My message to America is first the fact that your government is failing you.
your government is failing you. The Trumpsteins can't cope. They can't. It's very hard for them to understand, even when the Trump regime, Brooke Rollins comes out, no relation to Henry, I don't think, comes out. Well, actually, that was very Henry Rollins of her to come out and say, your government has failed you.
The fact that your government is failing you.
Your government is failing you, folks. That's your direct order from the Trump regime. All right, dummies. You guys ready to listen to some Zohran Mamdani? Today's a good day, man, Put on some Prince, all seven, and we'll watch them fall. If they stand in the way of love, and we will smoke them all with an intellect and a savoir-faire. Come on, man. I see the MAGAs in the... Oh, look at that. Joe, I always get these MAGAs in here trying to tell me what I smell like. Listen, guys, I know Grindr shuts down every time you Republicans have a get-together, but you don't need to be flirting with me, all right? You don't need to be flirting with me. I see you texting from this position. You guys writing in the comments. I see your phone down there while you're chatting like that and trying to tell me that you can smell me from there. Why are you always coming into my live streams trying to smell what I smell like, huh? Why are these dudes coming in here being like, oh, you smell like this? What was that show? What was that movie? You know that show where he's like, squeal? That reminds me of MAGA. They're always in here like, oh, I bet you smell like this. I bet you'd like to smell my hair, you freak. Oh, god damn. Deliverance. Thank you, Lady Wiser. What an appropriate name. Lady Wiser. My lady. Deliverance. That's it. That's what MAGA reminds me of, the scene in Deliverance. It's like, I bet you smell good, boy. I'm like, could you please get out of that position while you're writing in the comments? We're never forgetting, MAGA. We're never forgetting. Okay. Let's get through a few different things. I got to set a baseline for you before we talk about Mamdani. Eugene Debs, America's favorite socialist, who famously ran for president while in prison. I linked his Wikipedia down below so you could read about him because Mamdani quotes him right out the gate. I also have a few different stories quoted down below. This is, by the way, when us leftists, when us socialists, when us comrades say we're going to take our country back, this is what we mean. Codify women's right to choose. You can't call yourself the land of the free and then say I'm going to regulate some woman's body. Hypocrite, ain't happening. We're going to overturn Citizens United. We're going to rip the souls right out of those corporations. And then we're going to tax billionaires into extinction. When we say we're taking this country back, we mean we're taking it back from the people who have ruled it and ruined it for too long. The oligarchs, the Nepo babies, the dynasty, the political dynasties, the coastal elites, these CEOs that are paying their workers so little, millions of them rely on SNAP to eat. That, as FDR said, should not exist here in America. If you have to pay the wages of your employees so little that they can't support themselves to a decent living, then your business should not survive in America. That's FDR. That was a president who said that at one point. And democratic socialism is back, baby. It's back. Today marks a brand new dawn for humanity, a better day for humanity. Healthcare for all. We're going to ban stock trading. We're going to cap Congress salary. We're going to tax billionaires out of existence, tax unrealized gains, tax megachurches. We're coming for you, Joel Osteen. Oh, you better believe it. And we're doing all this. So the MAGAs, the naysayers, the less creatives, if you have something to chirp about, go to Ben Shapino's page. Go to Tim Pool, where they'll coddle you and treat you like a little baby, and they'll tell you, just be obedient. Sit in the corner and wait. Be obedient in advance. We'll tell you what to think. Don't you worry. We're going to get those men out of the women's locker rooms, and we're going to do it by electing the guy who bragged about being a man going into women's locker rooms and being a creep. Okay. Well, the rest of us, we're done listening to you asshats because, well, we're here. Where people are probably selling loose eggs on the corner of New York City. People have had it. We have had it. And we're going to take this country back. And how we're going to do it? We're going to tax wealth, not work. A lot of you working class traders, and I see you. You guys are bootlickers. You guys are defending the oligarchy. You're defending the foot that stomps on your neck. And while you're free to do that, the rest of us don't have to sit and be obedient in obedience. We are tired of nurses paying a tax rate of 22%. Well, this asshat pays a true rate of 1%, and Netflix, on $5.3 billion in profits, pays maybe 1%. Does anybody remember the Panama Papers? Anybody? But we're going to take this country back. Mamdani begins a new day. Also, we're not forgetting that Donald Trump is all over the Epstein files. We're just not going to forget it. So when remember this guy said, day one, I'm going to lower your price of egg. Grocery. I might have made that word up. It's an old-fashioned word. What a fucking moron. Hold on. What is this photo? Oh, that's the Cuomo. That's the Cuomo daughter. Sorry, I didn't show this to you when I was playing the no FOMO, vote Cuomo. What cringe-worthy stuff. But we're gonna get to Mamdani. Come on, Mama. Because this speech is important. This speech is important. Play for your kids if you have kids. Play for your parents if you have parents. I only have one of those two options, so I'll do it for them. Zohran, the new future. Who said that? Who said that? What you don't you get away from me. Pro Outdoor Services. Release Donnie's MRI results. They'll never. Lady Weiser, do you remember around 2015, he said, Donald Trump said, I'll release my taxes as soon as the audit's done. I'm pretty sure that was a decade ago. So they'll never release it. Let's see, who else is in the chat? If you've been here before, hit subscribe and the notification bell, and you're in the chat and I didn't see you. Crushed Ice. Crushed Dice. KT Liz is in the chat. I saw October's Daughter. I saw Desi Corvez, President Raygun. Your content is hitting the gripers. That's why they're so ignorant. Oh no. But if I didn't take a moment to say hello, very excited today. This Zohran win, my apologies, is very exciting. This is a brand new day in America. And I've been calling it for years, and people called me crazy. People still call me crazy. That's fine. I don't give a shit. I really don't care. You know what I care about? People being able to afford groceries. You know what I think would be an accomplishment? Bragging. Instead of trying to say, oh, it's the Democrats' fault, snap. It's immigrants. You know what I think would be cool? If we had leaders who said, I'm working to implement wages and taxes where people don't need SNAP, where SNAP is irrelevant, where we don't have starving kids in America. That's what I'm looking for. And I've been saying this for ages, and it don't bug me when people say, oh, you're crazy. Imagine cheering for... Shut your fucking hole, okay? Okay? I've suffered. I've seen suffering, and I would never wish it upon anyone. And that's what MAGA doesn't understand. You see these crybabies over here, like the Barstools and the Ben Shapinos and the Tim Pools and the Patty Bet Davidstones. You know, all the alpha bros, the Polio Rogans, how they're like, oh, New York. None of them live there, but they're all concerned with it. They're all offended. They need a safe space. Guess what? Your safe space is where you live. Shut the up. I don't even want MAGA to suffer. That's the incredible thing about leftists. What we're trying to implement, when we say we want the woman in this country to have freedom over their bodies, that's just not leftist women. That's just not the blue-haired women, as you call them. That's MAGA women. I know the MAGA males don't like that. They want full autonomy over their women. They want full obediency. But us leftists want even MAGA to never have to call an Uber instead of an ambulance. That's our goal. For not just having to read and see the rich oligarchs have their Gatsby parties, but to celebrate that kids aren't going hungry, that we eradicated homelessness. Remember we eradicated polio in America? And then RFK is trying to bring it back. Imagine if people like all those people, remember when they used to say, oh, we've got to protect the kids. They had their gates and they had their conspiracies and they had their letters of the alphabet and they wanted to protect the children. Imagine if they wanted to protect the children from starvation. Isn't it weird how they want to protect them from things that they can have a victimhood and an enemy in? So we're going to play some of Zohran. But before we do, again, all graffiti should be from the Bible. All graffiti. It should say, love your neighbor unselfishly. That's the graffiti I want to create. Love your neighbor unselfishly. Jesus, because that's what he said. That's the greatest commandment. Oh, by the way, breaking news. If you didn't see, God did tweet on Blue Sky. Hi, I'm God. Jesus and I agree that starving the poor so you can build yourself golden bathrooms and golden ballrooms is evil. Anyone who does that shall burn for eternity. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Thanks, God. So, looks like God has chimed in. What else? Oh yeah, look at this. JD Vance. Look at this tweet from September 2021. Remember when we learned that our wealthiest and most powerful people were connected to a guy who ran a literal, and that guy mysteriously in jail, and now we just don't talk about it? Oh, JD, I wonder why you're not talking about it. Wonder why. MAGA, this is your VP. Look at his tweets. Aged like milk. Anybody read that on Reddit? It's a hard pill to swallow. This explains a lot of the mindset in America, the culture. This is why Tim Pool is a thing. It's a hard pill to swallow for Westerners brought up in the individualistic mindset. But the reality is that you never really done anything by yourself. Your actions and very nature are defined by your relations with outside people, the land, and material things. Why do you think Donald Trump needed Elon Musk to give him 200 million during the election? This was interesting. Just in, Reuters reports that Syria's president, Ahmad al-Sharaa, closed the business office of his brother and warned his family against exploiting the family name for personal gain. We now live in a world where the former Al-Qaeda guy running Syria less corrupt than the American president. My God. My Christ. My Christ. This is what I was telling you about. So we listened to this audio where he said, no, you're wrong. Grocery prices aren't up. Jim McGovern says, don't worry, America. When you're in line at the grocery store and the cashier's ringing you up, your food costs an extra $50. Just tell him, no, you're wrong. Oh, this is sad. You know, the how it started, how it's going. I'll let you read that. Okay, we're going to play some Mamdani. Mamdani. Before we play some Mamdani, there was a lot of people threatening to leave New York if he taxed millionaires at 2%. Fucking grow a spine. In Massachusetts, Zohran, if you don't know, he wants to tax millionaires at 2%. Give me a break. In Massachusetts, in 2022, we tax millionaires at 4%. Okay? 4%. That's what we did. It's called the Fair Share Amendment. It's a millionaire's tax. We created a 4% tax on income over $1 million. And guess what? There's no more hungry kids at school. No more school lunch debt. They get lunch and breakfast, everyone that goes to school in the public school system. And if you want a community college bachelor's degree, you can get it for free. So Zohran wants to do a 2% tax. I say step it up to a 5%. Those people crying. Imagine having millions upon billions of dollars and crying about a tax. Imagine that. You don't worry about the price of egg. You don't worry about rent. Your houses are owned. Your cars are paid off. You don't worry about any of that. And you're crying about a 2% tax. My Christ. If you can't afford a 2% tax, maybe you're living outside of your means. Maybe you shouldn't be taking all those flights to those islands, huh? By the way, if you're into Neville Goddard, we're going to get to Mamdani. I promise you. If you're into Neville Goddard, I was reading the Bible today, and I thought this one hit me like a Neville Goddard lecture. Proverbs 16:9. A man's mind plans his way as he journeys through life, but the Lord directs his steps and establishes them. And there's many more quotes of this, Proverbs, Psalms, Jeremiah, but I wanted to share that with you. And here it is. Zohran Mamdani has won the New York City mayor race. Oh, shoot. Did I not take pictures of the articles? So I linked a bunch of articles down below to my favorite magazine, Jacobin. You should look up the history of that word, and you should check out the magazine. And one of the articles in Jacobin is the what is it? They transcribed his speech. One of them was how Zohran is taking Bernie Sanders' movement into the future. And the other one was how Zohran defeated Cuomo, the Cuomo dynasty, the established. This is what I don't understand about MAGA. They claim to want outsiders, drain the swamp, even though they filled it with a bunch of, pervert alligators. But these people that want to be anti-establishment, like this is as anti-establishment as you get. He's talking about helping working people, affordable groceries, free public transit, all these great things that will help working people, make rent stabilization, rent freezes, things that are going to help workers, people that wake up and work every day. And he defeated the Cuomos, which if you were here at the beginning, hit subscribe and the notification bell. We looked up Mario Cuomo, their dad. I don't know if they're Siamese twins or not. I've never seen them below the waist. They're always interviewed from above. But the Siamese twin Cuomos, I believe, they come from a political dynasty. Everyone should be cheering this on. That there's a new day, a new morrow, as I believe they would say in old-timey England. And there's people that are, there's morons. Really, I got to play the clip again. What did Donald Trump say about MAGA? What did he say about his base? Let's see. What did he say? What did Donald Trump say? Well, not only did he say, I love the poorly educated,
I love the poorly educated.
but he also said,
Smart people don't like me.
smart people don't like him. And I saw somebody saying, well, number one, they said something about me being a liberal, which I'm not. I'm a leftist. Much different. You scratch a liberal and a fascist bleed. But they don't understand how people could hate Trump because he's a Nepo baby. But they said, we elected a silver spoon brat. We elected a democratic socialist who not a political dynasty, as some weirdos call it. So what's hard to understand about that? Or is it just socialism that scares you and you'll use any part of your brain to try to freak out and type some kind of distraction? Clearly, not the brightest. When MAGA's sending people into the chat, they're not sending their brightest. Some of them may be good people, some of them, but most of them are PDF file supporters. Let's listen to Mamdani. Okay, this is important. Share this with your kids. Today is a new day. We're taking back America from the oligarchy, from the establishment. And I link this C-SPAN video down in the description as well. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, join the coalition, join the family, join the community we're building here. This is an important community because when MAGA gets loud, and their bot army flares up like an Epstein-style rash from leaving the island, when they start to flare up, it can feel isolating, it can feel alone, especially if you're in a red state, especially if your family is them. But those rats are going to be fleeing this ship. This ship, think about it. Donald Trump is 80 years old, okay? He's qualifying for a Smucker's birthday shout out on the morning show. This dude is ancient and this regime's going to end at some point. The empire is crumbling and it's amazing to see things like this. And if you don't know much about it, that's okay. Join the coalition, join the community, and hopefully you'll learn something. You'll learn that the military is socialism here in America. The fire department, the police department, the VA is a government-run socialist healthcare system already implemented and paid for by our taxes. Oh my God. You'll learn that the people who claim to love America are fear-mongering about American-run grocery stores that are affordable. What would wrong? Why do you hate America? But the more you know, like that old PSA from the 90s, the more you know. And then it would be like Topanga from Boy Meets World being like, hey, dummies, socialism isn't what you think. Republicans use words and make them turn toxic. So it just means everything bad that I don't like. And there's more to words than that. We understand that Donald Trump has made words meaningless. He just says whatever. He doesn't care. There's no accountability.
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is. I know nothing about it.
Oh, really? But words can be important, okay? Just like Elon Musk, he knows words are important. Joe Slow Polio Rogan knows words are important.
Do you think we're babies?
No, just listen to me, Joe. This is why they wanted to
Legalize comedy.
because they felt like the R word was important. They, for some reason, like morons, thought it was outlawed and that they couldn't say it. No, they could. People just think differently of you. But they thought Donald Trump was going to free the R word. So they know words are important. They get offended by many words that you say, like socialism. Well, we're going to take this country back, and today is a new day. Let's listen. No further comments from the peanut gallery. Let's listen to Zohran.
Thank you, my friends. The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor. Palms calloused from delivery by candle bars. Knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power.
Are you hearing this, man? Charismatic. By the way, I just seen, listen, I love my mods. Thank you, mods, for cleaning up the chat. We don't tolerate racism, misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, bigotry, and some stupidity, you know, like protecting PDF files, stuff like that. But for the most part, you know, we tolerate stuff. But I just seen someone dropping a comment saying, this guy said Elon Musk is an illegal immigrant. And I just wanted to take that opportunity to pause Mamdani, because not only is Elon Musk an illegal immigrant, but his brother Kimball said...
They realized that we were illegal immigrants.
So you can find that interview where Kimball Musk says him and his brother Elon were illegal immigrants here in America. Why isn't ICE kicking down their door? He's probably at Tesla or SpaceX. Go get him, ICE. It's the only time I cheer on ICE. Go get that illegal South African immigrant. Get him out of here.
And yet, over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it.
This is so fucking rad, man. This is so inspiring. The financial capital of the world, essentially, New York City, where Bain tried to rob Wall Street, and the guys, the stockbrokers, were like, there's no money here, idiot. And Bain was like, then why are you here? I love that part in the movie. Long live Bain for trying to rob Wall Street. Anyways, and they just elected a democratic socialist. There is hope. You know, people are done with these red hats, you know, saying, I'll lower price of egg first day. And then he's like, there's nothing I could do about it. You know, they're just lying to you. Meanwhile, they're throwing Gatsby parties, building ballrooms, the Epstein Memorial Ballroom. What? You know, not releasing the list. We're not forgetting. And people have had it. People have had it. And they're starving Americans. Donald Trump is choosing not against a court order. A federal judge said you have to use those SNAP funds that were put away for when the government shut down to feed Americans. And Donald Trump said, nope. He tweeted that out. He said, I'm not doing that. He's breaking the law. He's being tyrannical, going against federal judges' orders to starve Americans while he's having Gatsby-esque parties. While he's starving Americans, they're having a 7-course meal or whatever the fuck. You know, I hope the cake was, I hope when the cake came out, it looked like this. You know that show, Is It Cake? I hope they brought this out. They said, is it cake? And Donald Trump put his face right in there and went, num, 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 num. That's probably, you know, what he used to do with his buddy, his good friend. The one he would doodle and write poems for. Remember the poem that he wrote for him? Joe Rogan, do you remember it?
Enigmas never age, have you noticed that? And Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
Oh my God. But listen, if you have kids or parents, one or the other, play this for them. Play this Zohran speech for them.
The future is in our hands. My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty.
Amazing. Amazing.
I wish Andrew Cuomo only the best in private life. But let tonight be the final time I utter his name. As we turn the page on a politics that abandons the many and answers only to the few.
Yeah, hold on. I don't know how to pronounce it. Haig Homestead 2025, the year the frogs took America back. That is an awesome. Long live the frog. It's the year of the frog. Okay, hold on. Back to this. I just had to read that comment. That was great. Thank you for that comment. It was absolutely great.
New York, tonight you have delivered a mandate for change, a mandate for a new kind of politics, a mandate for a city we can afford, and a mandate for a government that delivers exactly that.
You're too.
Stupid ads. Stupid ads. This is a moment. This is a historical moment, you know? Well, for the past decade, we've had these people wanting to drain a swamp or make America great, and all that's happened. Just look around you. Look in your neighborhoods. All that happened is people are going hungry. Things are more unaffordable. The rich are getting richer. The tax cuts are happening. They're destroying the White House without permits or public opinion. They're doing all these things. They're going against court orders. There's private police ushered in by a political tyrant, a wannabe fascist, getting rid of due process. Once one of us loses it, we've all lost it. That's everywhere, surrounding us. I mean, never mind what you think of the lamestream media or what their narrative is. You can just look around and see shit getting worse. This is a moment where we're pushing back, the people. Remember, we are the 99%. That 1% that's dictating and dividing and, you know, telling you it's green M&Ms and the books that we got to burn, and it's all about the bathrooms and the locker rooms. Really? The guy who bragged about going into women's locker rooms to be a creep, Donald Trump, the one who bragged about that on tape, like bragged about it. He's the one to solve the locker room problem. Give me a fucking break, you guys. Give me a break. None of that's a problem. But this is a moment where we started. The new dawn has begun. We are taking this country back from its people.
And that is because of you. So before I say anything else, I must say this. Thank you. Thank you to the next generation of New Yorkers who refuse to accept that the promise of a better future was a relic of the past.
That is so monumentous, so gigantificus. There are so many people. I see them in the chat all the time. I see them in the chat all the time. This is just how the thing it is, what it is, or, you know, that's how it was, or, you know, it's the best you could get, or what are you going to do about it? It's all this, you know, status quo defending. And I'm so sick and tired of that. You know, I really want you to consider this for a second. If the revolution happened and then we just had a bunch of people, like whether they're bots or just lame lack of creativity people, I want you to think about, you know, have you ever seen Hamilton, the play? I want you to think about after the revolution, if we just had these people deciding things, like these people who are like, well, what are you going to do? You know, that's just the way it is. Now we all work 4 jobs and, you know, can't afford egg. It's just what it is. Like they lack creativity. They just want to be obedient in advance. They just don't have the charisma to, or the courage to think of something new, or to consider that shit doesn't have to suck, you know? And if throughout history we let these people dictate it, from whether it was the civil rights, slavery, women's suffrage, the workers' movement, all of these things, the hippie movement, the yippie movement, the anti-war movements, if we let these people dictate, we would just be sitting in the worst absolute place. And that's what has happened for the past 10 years. These people, I don't believe that the last election was fair, but, and they didn't either, the one before that, so we can't really say anything. But these complacent status quo defenders, racist, hatred, bigoted, whatever, misogynistic people just need to step the fuck aside. And it's time for something new. The only thing we're going to take from the past is one job can buy a house and afford a good living. You know, other than that, we're creating new stuff. We've tried all this other stuff. It doesn't work. The trickle down, only trick. That's the only part that worked out of that. None of this stuff. We're not going backwards. We're doing new ideas. And if you're scared of it, then just hold on tight and get ready for never calling an Uber instead of an ambulance. Because we're going to make your life better, whether you like it or not. We're going to guarantee sick time, guaranteed parental leave. We're going to guarantee vacation time. We're going to guarantee healthcare, guarantee housing, guarantee no one starves. And if that scares you, then just sit on the side like you do anyways. You know, just sit in the corner and be obedient because we're done. This is a moment. It's a fucking moment.
You showed that when politics speaks to you without condescension, we can usher in a new era of leadership. We will fight for you because we are you. Or as we say on Steinway, ana minkum wa ilaykum. Thank you to those so often forgotten by the politics of our city who made this movement their own. I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties.
This is incredible. Share this with somebody. I linked the video down below. You can say what you want. All I see when you guys try to attack me or call me names or whatever you're saying, all I understand is that you're terrified. You're scared. And what are you scared of? Well, Fred Hampton once said, if you're scared of socialism, you're scared of yourself. And that's what I think it is. You don't want the people to have power. You don't want other people not to suffer, because if other people can't suffer or aren't suffering, then what makes you feel good? That's a lot of the Trump movement. It's not about what good is happening or what benefits that we can make America and Americans have, but it's more about who they can attack. It's always funny to me when I call somebody names and they're like, typical Democrat resorting to name calling. I'm like, you elected a fucking guy who made fun of a disabled reporter to start out with. To start out, like 10 years ago, he was making fun of people. That's his whole fucking thing. That's it. When he went on Joe Rogan was like, you're pretty funny, you know, when you're standing behind Hillary. Like, that's his whole thing. So when I see you calling names, what I understand is that's a last resort, that you're terrified, that this dude might bring some affordable groceries, free buses, and people might catch a whiff of something good and fight for more. And then it's going to go viral to every city, every state. I already told you here in Massachusetts, he wants to implement a 2% tax on everything over $1 million. In Massachusetts, 3 years ago, we put a 4% tax on millionaires. We already done it. It works. It works real good. And once people start to see this is why I'm so excited for New York to get in on this. Once New York, Boston, LA, it's going to trickle out everywhere. This will be the real trickle down, power to the people with no tricks involved. So I'm excited. So you know what? Keep barking and chirping in the comments, and I'll be here every single weekday, sometimes on the weekend. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I ain't scared of none of you. And in fact, we've suffered for so long. It is time for us to take it back from these oligarchs, from these Nepo babies, from the people that you once said you didn't trust and you didn't want to control everything, the coastal elites. And then you red hats and redcoats. Interesting, both traitors to America. But you red hats, you elected one. Donald Trump is a Nepo baby rich kid from New York whose only wealth came from his father. All of his businesses failed. In fact, he was once a Democrat. Talk about betraying your own values. And then when you even get into like the fact that you claim to want to protect the kids and you elected a dude who was best friends with Epstein, it becomes even more hypocritical and ironical.
Yes, aunties. To every New Yorker in Kensington and Midwood and Hunts Point, know this. This city is your city, and this democracy is yours too.
I'm going to skip around a little bit because it's 20 minutes. You need to watch the whole thing, okay?
Okay.
These dang ads. God dang ads. Why are all you MAGAs here? Go to Ben Shapino's podcast. Go to Polio Rogan. Or what's his name? Matt Walsh. Like MAGA. You're supporting a PDF file. A creep. you making fun of me. I take pride in who doesn't like me. And if the Jeff Epstein supporters don't like me, that's awesome. You understand that? You're making my day. You make my day even better. Oh, a bunch of Jeffrey Epstein supporters don't like you and calling you loser and saying you live in your mom's basement. Ooh, awesome. I'd be concerned if you Epstein supporters liked me. In fact, I recommend you don't hit subscribe. God, these ads.
Project and turned it into so much more. I will never be able to express the depth of my gratitude.
You ever hear Trump say anything like that? Except to Ghislaine Maxwell, you know, when he wished her well and then moved her out of that high security prison.
You can sleep now. To my parents, Mama and Baba.
This is so rad. You know what I mean? Like, it's good to see just the humanity come back. The humanity. Talking like a real person, not pooping on everybody. He mentioned Cuomo once and said, I hope I have to never mention his name again. Meanwhile, you have Dementia Don, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, saying Joe Biden, 42 times in that interview with Nora O'Donnell. In the 60 Minutes interview, he's obsessed. Just like you guys, you get obsessed. You guys get obsessed with Joe Biden, Kamala. Like, you talk nothing about your concepts of a healthcare plan. You talk nothing about your plans for stuff. It's unreal. And it's so just rad to hear a man just thank people, be grateful, talk about a bright future, you know, like all this shit. Instead of just taking cheap jabs at people, you know, saying nothing about what his plans are. At least Zohran has plans for the city.
Into the new. So let us speak now with clarity and conviction that cannot be misunderstood about what this new age will deliver and for whom. This will be an age where New Yorkers expect from their leaders a bold vision of what we will achieve, rather than a list of excuses for what we are too timid to attempt.
List of excuses. While we're talking about that, I just want to play Donald Trump's latest interview where he gave a pardon to a guy who helped his kids get rich. And this is what he said.
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is. I know nothing about it.
Excuses. Well, I don't know who he is. I know nothing about it. This is so good to hear people saying, no more excuses. No more, you know, the leaders being unaccountable.
Central to that vision will be the most ambitious agenda to tackle the cost of living crisis that this city has seen since the days of Fiorella LaGuardia. An agenda that will freeze the rents for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants. Make buses fast and free. And deliver universal childcare across our city.
Who could be against that? If you're against that, just say why. Just say why you're against free buses. Just say why. Don't tell me, you know, not my tax dollars. You don't live in New York. Shut your mouth. Just say why you're against that. You know, I need to understand, like, who, like, outside of, like, the typical, not my tax dollars. I know you don't live in New York. But who could be against that? Seriously. Yep, that's what I thought. There's no answer. Nothing's free. You understand, once we tax billionaires at 100%, everything's going to be free. And by free, I mean paid for by billionaires' taxes. If they can't afford to live on $999 million, they're living outside of their means. I hate to break it to you. It's just all self-righteousness. That's all it is.
Years from now,
I saw Milton Friedman. I need you to read The Shock Doctrine. Milton Friedman helped install coups in South America. Him and the Chicago boys were absolutely detrimental. None of their stuff works. Unregulated capitalism is why you see everything the way it is right now. And Milton Friedman is a plague on society. Don't read his shit. Read this and you'll understand how him and the CIA worked together to coup and put in Pinochet and other dictators. Why do you think capitalism is so friendly to fascism? Jesus Christ, these uneducated idiots.
May our only regret be that this day took so long to come.
Now listen, that's about halfway through. I want you to listen to the rest of it on your own. David, the only pathetic insults MAGA idiots throw at this guy is get a job, derp. You live in your mom's basement, derp. That's it. They say it repeatedly, on repeat. And it's funny, you know, because I was up at 4, worked a full day, and then I do this. I do this for the love of it. I do this because this is my passion. And I do this because there are so many morons. I call them peacocks, stupid peacocks, where they like to put out their plumage of feathers, stupidity feathers. And the funniest part is most of MAGA or most of these ultra-right, hard-right conservatives usually have lived in the same town their whole life, usually lived with their parents until they could move out on their own. In fact, I knew a 50-year-old dude who I used to work for who lived with his parents, his rich parents, until he could afford to buy a house and always lived in the same town. That's what they do. And they project that. Every accusation is usually an admission. And my parents have been dead since I was in my 20s. So the whole basement thing is just, it's just them projecting their fears that they might be found out and caught. That's why I say a lot of the times your comments are more revealing to me about you than what you think it's saying about me. And beware of that. That's a life lesson. That's why they call me a vibe coach, because what you say is giving insights to your perception, to your worldview. It's not telling you anything about me. You don't know much about me. And I know that because I've always said, if you want to troll me, you better know me. But it's very insightful how they think of the world. That's why I asked, what's wrong with free buses? And it was just a lot of self-righteous answering. But I link this down below. Rabbit. Go read Naomi Klein's The Shock Doctrine. And if you work for a living and you're into unregulated markets, you're a moron. And it lends itself to fascism. It's okay. Just look up Pinochet and how he got installed with the Chicago boys, Milton Friedman style. But, you know, Donald Trump said smart people don't like him. So there you have it. Point set match. Hit subscribe, notification bell. Much love. Be kind to each other. And today is the start of a new day, a bright new dawn for humanity. Peace.